I remember back when the whole emo rap wave was going on. I was like in middle school, and like that was the perfect time for like that whole wave to happen, bro. Cause like when that shit was going down, bro, like when EXO Tour Life and the first Love Letter to You first came out, bro, I genuinely thought like Trippie Redd was a musical genius back then. You know, I remember in 2019 when Death Race for Love first came out, like I purposely like gaslit myself into liking this one girl at my school, knowing that she didn't like me back, and I didn't even like her, just so she can like, just so I can ask her out, just so she can reject me, just so I can relate to this Juice WRLD album, bro. You know, I look back on those times and yeah, I kind of cringe a little, but then I think to myself like, damn, the middle schoolers of today really don't got it like that, because there's no more like emo. That emo scene kind of like died out. And to be honest, I'm a little glad, because like that whole emo culture is just a whole bunch of people trying to convince other people that they're sadder than the next person. So it just comes across as a whole bunch of people trying to trauma dump on one another just so they can seem cooler because they're sadder or whatever. Oh, you're not really depressed. I'm really depressed. Let me show you what depression is. And niggas would like be trying to take Xanax and shit. It was a whole subculture that honestly I'm glad that's gone, because it was really destructive as hell. Like I get it, bro. I was there. I had like this on my school like profile picture on the like, because we had Gmail for school on like Outlook and shit, bro. My profile picture back then was like a picture of Ichigo, but it was like XXXTentacion with like the hollow mask and type shit. Bro, like I get it, man. You know, Sad Bart PFP, don't talk to me on an Instagram story. We've all been there. Like, let's just admit it. We've all been there. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Now that I think about it, I don't think emo's actually dead for real. Like, I don't think nobody's emo anymore. I guess, like, people are listening to Wi-Fi Skeleton.
God can't outlove your self-hatred, you dumb chink.
When I dug out my veins, my bed full of me. I'm not trying to ruin your fun. You're just a little bit late. I guess you're alright. I'm trying to ruin your fun. You're just a, you know it's getting so late. Okay. I'm not trying to ruin your fun. You're just a little bit late. I can see it already too.
But like I remember when Trippie Redd dropped the Love Letter to You 5, bro, and like the general reception, that and like the genre sad boy shit, was that nobody was trying to hear that shit in 2023, much less 2025, you know, in current times. And if I'm being real, bro, good fucking riddance, man. Good riddance. Cause like I don't think the music was that great. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think the music was that crazy. I remember in pandemic, I was really trying to get into like more artists, and one name I kept hearing about in like the underground spaces and just in music like discourse in the whole was the Drain Gang niggas. So like Blady, Young Lean, Thigh Boy, Echo 2K, all them, bro. And I sat there and I listened to Ice Dancer in full, because people keep telling me, oh, it's one of the greatest mixtapes of all time. It's one of the greatest to ever do it. Ice Dancer is so amazing. And, you know, I listened to it, and I remember listening to it. I liked Be Nice to Me, but I only liked it because of the beat. And I don't remember a single other song off that album. The only Drain Gang project I think is worth a damn is Echo 2K's E. And the only reason that's even as good as it is because it's not necessarily trying to be emo or sad, but it's also like trying to convey the stories of like racism and shit, bro. But I say that to say there's a reason why you don't see Uzi trying to be super emo and super sad all the time, and why every time he tries to tap back into that space, especially that headspace, it comes across as extremely performative and corny. This nigga is 30 years old trying to emulate a 16-year-old emo girl. Like, that's my goat and all, but this nigga confuses me sometimes. I feel like every person who used to like listen to emo rap back then either graduated to niggas like Lucky or Can or 1AM, or they're probably listening to like that whole opium type sound, you know, niggas like Osamason and King Carson. But in my opinion, like none of them emo rap albums hold up that well in today's standards, outside of like the nostalgia factor. I re-listened to 17 the other day because it was like his anniversary or whatever. I was like, oh, let me re-listen to this, and I couldn't even finish the album just because like how overwhelmingly negative and like depressing it is. I know back then it's kind of easy to bask into it, especially when you're trying to fit in, bro, but like nowadays, I don't know, I don't want to hear sad shit all the time. I kind of want to smile, you know. If I'm gonna turn on some music, it's gotta be at least entertaining and not like an onslaught of sadness, bro. Like I was listening to that shit and I was thinking to myself, I can't get jiggy with this shit. And you know, it's not even like I hate sadder albums, you know. I get like I Don't Go Outside by Earl Sweatshirt, Watch My Back by Lucky, but at least like those albums, I feel like it's presented in a lot easier way. Like yes, it's nihilistic as hell, but it's presenting it to you in a way that's a lot easier to digest than like the raw emotions of what like 17 did. To me, like 17 reminded me of when that one friend, like you tap in, he's like, oh, are you doing okay? You know, I haven't heard from you in a minute. And then that one friend like dumps everything onto you. And like you want to help and you really care about that person, but it's a lot to take in, so you don't really know what to do emotionally or physically. You don't know how to respond, so you accidentally leave them on red, and all of a sudden you're getting texts at like 3 a.m. mid-sleep of this dude probably trying to harm himself, and you feel really bad, but there's nothing you can really do because you accidentally left them on red because you don't know how to process things well. And then like I remember not too long ago I re-listened to Lil Peep, and I thought to myself, well, I was never a Lil Peep fan, but that's because I listened to him when I was younger and I didn't like it back then. Maybe younger me was just tweaking. Maybe I'll see the vision this time. And bro, this nigga over here talking about some, I wanna take my life just to give it to you. And I'm like, I see the appeal. I'm not saying it doesn't have appeal, but that type of music does not appeal to me anymore, at least. That's all I'll say. Like, it's very hard to listen to, and it's like very corny.
Throw that money up to the ceiling for her. Throw that money up to the ceiling for her. Throw that money up to the ceiling for her. Throw that money up to the ceiling for her. Wish I take, she is so appealing. She know me, she know what I